Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Well, we're in the home stretch for the Trump civil trial. Expert from New York University, a professor named Eli Bartov, testified on Thursday. Interesting, Eric Trump was pulled off of the defense witness list, so the prosecutors won't have another go at Eric. Donald Trump testifies on Monday, and then they go through whatever stuff the court needs to go through, and the case goes to Judge Engeron, and he will issue a ruling sometime in January of 2024. I'm curious, what happened with Eric, that Eric was pulled off of the witness list? I mean, it doesn't take a real rocket scientist to figure out why you don't want Eric testifying on the court case, but I'm curious anyway, so I'll ask the question, right? Why was Eric pulled off the case? What's the energy going on here around this? Why was Eric Trump pulled off this case? Okay, got the Ace of Swords. And underneath it is the Ace of Cups. This is just the best strategic move that you've got. He is... I'm sorry. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. Eric Trump has got a lot of passion and a lot of feels and stuff like that. But an intellectual giant, he isn't. And if you start challenging him, he gets angry and combative, and he doesn't have the intellectual horsepower to maintain composure, maintain an intellectual edge when he loses his composure. He could really open himself up and the defense team's case up for problems. Knight of Swords. Yeah, this was a decision that was made quickly. I guess, and maybe, I don't know if Eric's having some emotional issues that we won't know about. That could always be a possibility that he's emotionally not ready for it, but really he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, and throwing him out there to defend your organization is not the wisest move. So I think a move was made, and made quickly, to pull him off. Again, there could be something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. I'm curious about that. In the past, we have the Page of Cups. He testified before. He was not a strong witness. He tried to be an impassioned witness, but he's just weird. I mean, again, he's not bright. He did not. Donald Trump Jr. has some intelligence and some charm about him. Now, we can argue about the value of his intelligence and charm, but I think the SNL sketch, the Saturday Night Live sketches, pretty much have it nailed down. Donald Trump Jr. is a bit more of the savvy one, and I'll use savvy in air quotes here. And Eric is the less savvy one, shall we say. And this is him not being very savvy at all. Current situation is the Eight of Cups, walking away, yeah. Notice all the cup cards here. I'm going to read on Eric, his state of mind right now. He may not be right in the head. There might be something really bothering him. This is them walking away. And again, I think there's an emotional component here with this. I'm teasing about him not being the sharpest tool in the shed. This Ace of Swords could be like, no, this is not a good idea to put him on here, because there might be something really emotionally going on with Eric right now. He might be having a change of heart. And maybe his testimony wouldn't be as supportive as they want it to be. Overarching is the Four of Swords. Yeah, the defense just wants to rest this case. They want to rest this case. They need to put Eric to bed here. They have one more witness, and that's Donald Trump, and he's coming up quickly. So this card, yeah, that is this decision to have Eric walk away, but Donald Trump is going to come riding hard as the cavalry, and maybe Eric would say stuff that would have undermined whatever Donald Trump is going to say. The lesson to be learned is the Eight of Coins, the work, the mastery of it. honestly, I think this is just saying that one of two things. This is the strategy that Team Trump is coming up with. This is just their latest strategy to build their case. But I think in some ways they're really trying to limit the fines, and Eric wasn't going to be the resource that they needed to minimize fines in this case. Outcome is the strength card. Yeah, they think removing Eric from the case is actually going to strengthen their case. Maybe this is just trying to talk. They'll bring Trump in to talk about dollars and cents. I can't imagine that's the case, because if anybody is the freaking drama queen, it's Daddy Trump. You know, it's a witch hunt. I think this is also what this is when Donald goes out there getting answers. They won't be able to extract answers from him. Monday is going to be a mess in that court, because the court will try and guide Donald to answer questions, and he simply won't do it. That court case on Monday is just going to be 6 to 8 hours of Donald Trump being belligerent. It's a witch hunt. She's only after to steal my money. We should dismiss this case. This case should have been dismissed a long time ago. There's no there. Yeah, I think the Eight of Coins, I think that's also, or that Seven of Coins. I think that's also, no, it's the Eight of Coins. That's Donald going to be saying about no banks lost money. Everybody made money. There's no case here. It's a witch hunt. That type of thing. All right. I'll read on Donald Trump again as probably over the weekend. I imagine Sunday to Monday morning we will have him on there. But I want to right now focus on Eric Trump. All those emotion cards, the Ace of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Eight of Cups. What is going on, Spirit? What can you share with us? What's going on with Eric Trump from an emotional point of view? Are those all those emotion cards about Eric Trump, or is that about Donald Trump not trusting Eric Trump? What's going on? Maybe you can just give us background on what's going on with Eric Trump's life. We'll be able to sort it out from there. Fool. Eric Trump is either foolish or he's getting ready to embark on a new journey here. We're going to cross that. Temperance, more cups. And underneath that is the Justice card. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. I forgot the third option. You know, it's hard to try and... It's hard being a decent person. No, actually, it's actually really easy being a decent person. It's hard being a decent person and then having to get yourself into the mindset of an indecent person. What do I mean by that? I don't want Eric up there testifying because I want to throw this fool under the bus. Remember how Trump said, oh, those are Eric's decisions? He doesn't want Eric up there contradicting what Trump is about to say. Trump is going to put all this on Eric's shoulders, and Eric's not going to be there. His testimony won't be there to contradict his father's testimony. This is integrating a plan for the fool involving justice. He is going to throw Eric under the bus, and Eric is going to be the one to blame for the losses, so Donald has a scapegoat. And the reason why he doesn't want Eric to testify is because Eric Trump would have defended himself, and then there would be a contradiction in testimony, and then Trump couldn't say it's all Eric's fault. It's the manifestation. Yep. Okay, so what's going on with Eric? He's getting set up. He's proclaimed himself, he's one of the two people running Trump org while Donald Trump was the presidency. And I think he was proud of what he and his brother accomplished, even though most of it's an illusion on this one, he would proudly own the successes. I've got a bunch of major arcana here, by the way. I've got 4 of them, as a matter of fact. Look at that. Everything is a major arcana. There we go. And it's coming to an end. Donald Trump is going to throw his son under the bus. Everything's going to be his fault. Now, mind you, this is a civil case. This is not a legal case. Nobody's going to prison. But in Donald Trump's world, he can't ever be blamed. He's a narcissist. He's a sociopath. He can't ever be blamed for anything that goes wrong. You have to have a scapegoat because Donald, he poops roses out of his butt. So, of course, his plans would work. His plans are great. So if the plan doesn't work, it's not his fault. Somebody else messed it up. Somebody else had the bright idea to mess it up, and it's this fool, and this fool needs to be held accountable. You're going to blame Eric. He'll take it out of Eric's share of the inheritance. Oh, God, more cups. 6 of cups. Eric is too trusting of his father. It's funny. Both of the Trump sons actually seem to have, the ability to actually have an emotional relationship with their dad, wanting that approval. The daughter is a sociopath, just like her father. But the boys, in this case, the adult men, they just always have wanted daddy's approval, and daddy's always given Ivanka the approval. They never got the approval that they wanted from their dad, which is why they constantly do things to try and please him, and he will constantly blame them for everything that goes wrong. In this case, Eric is going to bear the brunt of it. More cups, more emotions. The lesson to be learned. Eric is blind to his father's love or lack of love. Or maybe he's finally starting to see. It could also be that Eric is hopefully, starting to see that his father has no use for him. His only use is as a scapegoat. So that is one possibility for this. Hang on for just a second. Sorry, I was just getting a phone call. Now let's bring it on down here. What's the outcome? The hangman. There we go. Expect Eric to be thrown under the bus. He's the willing sacrifice in this case. They are going to toss him out. Baby goes out with the bath water. And, again, it's a civil case. Nobody's going to prison for this, but Donald needs a scapegoat, and Eric is going to be his scapegoat. And I strongly suspect that the reason why Eric isn't testifying, and I'll be repeating this for the 3rd time now, is because his testimony would contradict his father's. And Trump needs to have the narrative. And he needs to have the scapegoat. And if Eric can't testify in his defense, well, you got your scapegoat. And then Trump gets to maintain the mythology that he's this incredibly successful businessman, and all the MAGA crew will love him and praise him and prostrate themselves in front of him and do whatever it is that one does to a demagogue. And meanwhile, his own flesh and blood gets thrown under the bus. I'm surprised we didn't get the chariot card here. Probably because, well, no, I'm surprised we didn't get the chariot card here. Okay. God. Now I'll read on Trump later. What else do I want to throw on this one? What's Eric's opinion of his father going to be after this trial is done? After it's all said and done, what's Eric's opinion of his father going to be? Comes around, goes around. Fortune, wheel of fortune, karma. This is just acceptance. This is just the way it is. I guess it's one of these life. It might be one of the life lessons that Eric signed up to learn. When you've been thrown under the bus, and you're being held accountable for other people's actions. Yep, there we go. Wanting that relationship with your father, never getting it, always watching him give your sister all the love and praises, and you get nothing in return. Wanting that you know, for lack of a better description, a loving family to grow up in. Now he's got a decision to make. Does he hold on to the past? Or does he, you know, go on his own crazy path here? Maybe this is, no, I think, you know what, this is a decision on his father. Yeah, it's a decision on his father. Does he keep supporting his father and his father's crazy notions? Or does he realize that his father was never there for him and it's time for him to move on? This is going to be a really, really tough decision for him to make. You know, and not to trigger anybody in the audience, but for those of you who've had a rocky relationship with your parents, you know, maybe stuff that you put up with as a child and as a teenager, that as an adult, you just looked back and like, that was effed up. I cannot believe that my parents did that to me. I think that's kind of the thing he's going through. It's another, again, Trump's relationships are like bad relationships. Every one of them is like dating. He's toxic. And you can imagine being his kids. Now, as much animosity that we might have for the adult Trump children, can you imagine that guy being your dad? Can you imagine living in that household? I hope Ivana was the one that was the emotional rock for the three of them. She probably was. And, you know, this other guy, you know Donald Trump's out doing whatever he wants to do whenever he wants to do it. He's not rolling into the house at, you know, 5:30, 6 o'clock, hugging all his kids, asking them how their day was, helping them out with their homework, you know, having dinner and then, you know, watching TV with them and hanging out and, you know, having a relationship with them. You know that wasn't happening. You just absolutely know that wasn't happening. And it seems like for Don Jr. and Eric, they really wanted that relationship with their dad. You know, read me a bedtime story. Let's watch a football game together. Let's play catch. You know, and now they get to deal with that. So hopefully they do deal with it, and maybe if we're all lucky, they come out a little bit better than they went in. We can only hope. Anyways, thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you all for your likes and your shares and your comments and everything you do to help the YouTube algorithm get my video out there to a wider audience. To new members to the channel or new viewers to this channel, welcome. I'm glad you found us. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.